Jones gives it up the middle. This is Zach Mills at fullback, and he's jigs the tackle to 30, 35, 40. He's down the far sideline to the 50, 45, 40, 30, and out around the 26-yard line of Mississinewa.
Thanks for joining us on WXFN.com. This is the preview of the high school football season. We're going to go around to all three schools and start with Delta High School. So we're here with Coach Saganda. Coach, good to see you again.
Yeah, me too.
It's ready to get back and play. So I know for you and I know for the kids, it's all about getting out there and experiencing almost that first half of football. When I saw it last year, it was my first year. Do you almost, when you're going into the first game, that first half of the first game, do you kind of just run some sets, get them used to the thrill of competition again, and the second half really starts?
Well, really, we have two scrimmages that kind of take care of that for us. We have our inter-squad scrimmage, the Blue Gold game, which we just finished up last Saturday. And then coming up tomorrow, we have our Muncie Central scrimmage. So hopefully we get all those things out in the two scrimmages so we don't have to do it in a real game. But, our main focus right now is going to be conditioning.
Okay. Well, something I noticed last year was Joe Spiegel was a huge piece for you, obviously, with all the records that he set last year. But towards the end of the season and into tournament time, you got some of those supporting pieces. More importantly, Zach Mills. How was his development this off season, and what do you expect from him this season?
Well, I think Zach's going to have a great year this year. I think he's going to be, fill in Joe's role from last year very well. He's kind of a tailback by nature anyway. He was playing fullback for us last year at 160 pounds. So, he's not really a fullback, but that's what he had to play last year because we had Joe. With Joe being gone, I think Zach's going to have a great year at tailback for us.
And now talking about your quarterback system, saw a couple reports about the two quarterback system. So for those, you don't see it a whole lot in college or the pros, but in high school you may see it a little bit more. So using Riley Peace, using Tanner Lambert, is it going to be situational or just which guy's hot on a given night?
Well, it'll be situational, but it'll be based on formation. I mean, really they're running two separate offenses. Riley Peace is going to be our pro set quarterback when we're in the I, when we're in the pro. Riley's going to be our quarterback, and then when we're in a wing T formation, it's going to be Tanner Lambert. The two different styles. They're really two different quarterbacks. One's 6'4", one's 6 foot. One's a little more of a runner. Tanner, so when he's in the wing T, he's probably going to run the ball, run boot passes and things like that. Whereas Riley's more of your traditional drop back quarterback.
Coach Grant Saganda from Delta High School. This is the preview of the high school football season. We see Delta and Jay County opening night, so that should be very exciting. When you look at the complexion of Delaware County, the three schools we cover, Delta, Yorktown, and Muncie Central, we look on paper, and you seem to be the favorite in that three. What have you seen in camp that has impressed you the most, that you wanted to see maybe coming into the start of training?
Well, this is going to sound weird, but it's attitude. I think we got a group of guys that are just hungry. I think they're hungry to get our Delta tradition back. We've gone 8-4, 6-4, 7-5, which by some people's standards might be okay. But for us here, it's not. And I think they're hungry to get that winning tradition back, and not only win, but on a big level. And so our work ethic has been great. The team attitude's been great, and that's the one thing that stood out to me is we've got guys that are working really hard right now.
Well, we talked about the running game. When you think of Delta, you think of great defense and a good running game. So talk about that defense. You said attitude. Talk about the defensive mentality there as well.
Well, we're not going to be real big on defense, so it's going to have to be attitude. It's going to have to be discipline. So we've got to have guys that have to be able to get to the ball quickly and get there and make tackles. And we feel like we've got that. We don't have much depth, on either side of the ball. We've got 70 players on the roster this year, and 35 of them are freshmen. So half of our team is going to be freshmen. So we don't have a lot of depth in our upper levels, upper grade levels. So we're going to have a lot of guys going both ways, and defensively, we're going to have guys that get there and play good disciplined football.
Coach, one final question, and we talked about seeing Jay County and yourselves on opening night. You have it at home this year, unlike last year. It's a different feel when you have it at home, obviously, to start the season, to get that excitement going, get the school rallied around it. So talk a little bit about now, a week out from that, what that game's going to be like.
Well, first of all of Delta football home games are crazy. I mean,
Mhm.
we've had a great tradition here of great fans, great student support. We call our student fans the Blue Crew, and they like to have a good time and be loud and support our team. And it's been that way for years. And so I expect our home opener to be the same way. And we'll have a big crowd, and I'm sure they'll be loud and ready to go.
Coach, good luck on the season. We look forward to going along the ride with you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on WXFN.com. You can check out all 3 videos of Muncie Central, Yorktown, and Delta. We're excited for the season. Thanks so much for joining us online.